that has 3 letters. There's a bunch of them.
ABC, CBS, NBC.
I suppose Fox has 3 letters. I suppose there's a few others that have 3 letters.
CNN.
So he's going to come on, but he's actually just going to show us a whole bunch of cool stuff. Dude has a bunch of toys, and he's going to give us a tour around a bunch of his toys. Should be pretty cool.
That's tight.
I have to wear comments over here. I kind of missed that beginning. Thanks for joining us today, everyone.
Nobody commenting? What?
Yeah, I do need breakfast. Do we have people here?
It must have disconnected.
No, I don't think so. We're live. We just don't have a lot of viewers today. It's weird. They're all coming in. They're starting to pop in.
We got kicked off. Feed was interrupted. Oh. Hi, Elma. How are you? It's my high school coach's wife.
Hey, how are you? We'll let people start to pop on, I guess. I guess.
Rick Naya. What's up, Rick?
Morning, everybody. Good morning, shut-ins. Yeah, I don't know. I wonder if our stuff is even going up on To Disrupt America right now. I'd be interested in knowing.
What happened, Dan? Dan is on my Instagram. What happened, Dan?
So, for those of... Huh.
I shared to too many groups at once. It froze.
It's interesting. It kind of looks okay on our side.
Facebook froze.
Yeah.
Dan said Facebook froze too. What's up, Larry?
Yeah, it was good on our end for once. Usually it is our fault, but it's not our fault this time.
What you up to, Larry? From YouTube. And your profile picture is you.
So welcome everyone. In case you missed it, we have Janet Mcallister and
Hey, we got Janet.
Chris Palmer from Hippy Chick, which is a cool store up in Maine.
Oh yeah, Dan.
And then we also have John Griffin from a 3-letter network coming on. He's going to show us a whole bunch of cool stuff. And we might have Nick the Intern coming on today. I don't know.
Samote said Facebook is working fine, brother. We hear you, Dan.
Dan, it's just your internet. What's going on, folks that are watching us across platforms? So we got to do a giveaway today. Dun 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 dun. Giveaway.
And today's giveaway.
What should we give away? Oh.
Mike,
I like to ease.
Listen to Lucky Dube.
I like to. So I have. I sure have, bud.
That's Samote.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's a reggae artist. I sure have.
Hey, Miss Joe.
We're really psyched everyone's here. We're just sort of letting everyone spin into the room. We had a weird opening today.
Yeah. Hey, guys.
Different. We're trying
this
it.
Is a whole other view. Oh yeah, this the ghetto view, and then this is the nice view. So you guys want to see the ghetto setup? This is the difference. We're just showing you the difference between when you let somebody who's never set up a camera set up theirs, versus somebody who sets up cameras. So it's just your choice.
You got some hair sticking up here. So yeah, welcome to the show. Did you have a good 420?
I did. I smoked too much and went to sleep. Long sleep. I went to sleep super early yesterday, and then I woke up at like 3 a.m. sending all the people that's in my meme group.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure they got some videos last night at 3 a.m. when I was up, bored.
Peppering those Pepper in that inbox.
I'm just making sure. I'm just making sure I live up to, you know, my name. Anybody can ask. I am the meme sender master. Ask anybody that's in my meme group, they'll vouch.
So, in case anyone's watching us on Instagram, this is the first time that we're going, hopefully, live to Instagram. I'm not looking at it. I'm not monitoring it. I have no idea. Yesterday was 420. We had a cool show.
We did.
We did. We had Darren Miller on. We had Mark Ward on.
Darren. Yep. Mark.
And that was pretty cool. That was fun. It was actually one of our biggest shows yet. So we got to do the contest. So folks on Instagram and no, I enabled commenting on the thing, but I don't know how that's going to work. So folks, if you're on Instagram, you're not. We can't make you eligible for today's contest. If you come over to Facebook, you can totally do it. Find us live on Facebook in a couple of places. So today's contest.
Y'all gotta guess.
Wait, hold on. We got to tell them the prize first. We got to figure out what the prize is.
Dang, y'all got lucky.
Ooh, you were about to go.
I was finna hit them with
Thanks, Hako. Yeah, it was a cool show today. Thank you, Heather Marie. Yeah, it's a Versace.
Yesterday, I bet it was awesome. Yes, Rebecca, you was absent. We did a roll call.
Yeah, where were you, Rebecca?
Yeah,
I'm just kidding. Usually it's Eric that's hassling people. Thank you, Melissa. Appreciate it.
Adam
all right.
said tax time.
Tax time. All right, so we got to give away a prize. By the way, yesterday's prize was amazing. The basket, Mark really came through. I just wanted him to give like a little,
it's gonna
a little
be
thing,
amazing.
a little thing,
nice.
and then he gave away an entire basket full of
that basket
full of goodies.
Nice. Johnny Two Socks logged in.
What's up, Twitch users? We appreciate
According
you.
to my weight, I should be 8'9" tall. Is the first thing Johnny Two Socks says when he logs in.
So for those of you on other platforms, or if this is your first time watching, his name is Eric Martin. He played for the 2015 Super Bowl Patriots. And I'm just a guy who hasn't had breakfast yet.
I haven't had breakfast neither.
Well, we have that in. That's what we have in
Rebecca
common.
said she was too high to log in.
All right. Well, that's fair.
It's very fair. If it was it dabs or because I know dabs would make me too tired to do anything.
So everyone loves to try to get you rocked whenever they meet you in person. It's like a little contest. They'll be like, what can I give you to like fell the giant?
There's only one thing that truly knocked me out. I won't talk about it because they never log in. So.
I don't see him in the chat, but shout out to Nate and Avril.
They probably at the farm. They laughed at my video at like.
Shout out to Jen.
So who won? Definitely had that answer. How, like rapid fire. What? Definitely had that answer out like rapid fire.
Mm-hmm.
But it wasn't fast enough. Melissa won. What was it? The animal, right?
Well, you did. We had two yesterday, so we had two contests yesterday. We had one that was your favorite land animal, and then your favorite sea creature.
Yeah.
I think today's contest is actually going to be easier, but we'll find out. We're going to find out. So we gotta pick a prize. So they're not on right now, but I'm gonna go out on a limb and say that we're gonna give away one thing of free jam today, which is awesome. Free infused jam. Everyone. By the way, everyone wants this jam. It's made by an award-winning jam maker who won a big contest for best CBD edible at last year's Harvest Cup. Shout out to the Harvest Cup.
Oh, yeah.
So we're gonna do CBD jam. Some of you in the audience have won it before. This has been one of our most popular giveaways. And by the way, if you're just watching for the first time, every day we give stuff away. So come on the show. Usually we try to move it along quickly.
April logged in.
Hey, April, you're. Good morning,
Johnny
April.
Two Socks said Eric is great at grabbing fumbled balls from guys that can't hang on to the ball.
Wow.
I don't know what
Well,
that means.
I think that I don't know. I think Johnny's feeling saucy today for some reason.
Hey, Johnny, you need to explain yourself, my brother.
Good morning, April. So, April, today's contest is sponsored by April, the Jam Maker. And first, you got to make sure that you like and follow them on.
No, I'm sorry, Melissa.
Facebook.
Wait, was it who won yesterday?
We don't keep track of that anymore. We can't. Listen, this is day 31 of the show in a row. We've literally done the show every morning for 31 days in a row. We can't remember. It was determined yesterday. It was determined. No. So who won the T-shirt? No, Jody won the T-shirt. Didn't she win? Didn't Jody win the T-shirt? Jody won the T-shirt, and then who won the first one?
I do watch fans.
Who won the basket? Who won the basket? Anyway, it doesn't matter. You guys all.
Yeah,
you guys. This
is the thing. If y'all don't pay attention to y'all award, y'all don't.
Whoever won contacted the winners, so that's what matters.
Get donated back.
If you don't know who won, then
and it goes back to us, and we will make sure it get disposed properly. So if you don't claim your award and send the company that won, one of our sponsors that sponsors it, if you don't send them your address, the award just goes straight to the taxes. And unfortunately, that's just how it goes. If you don't claim your tax return check, what happens? It goes right back to taxes. So just make sure y'all be tuning in. We've given away 30 things so far.
Well, maybe not. Did we start giving away stuff day one? Was that
20? It don't matter. It's in the 20s. So. And if it ain't if it's in the 30s, it'll be in the 30s next week.
Yeah, no, it's definitely in the high 20s. We've given away stuff almost every day in a row. So anyway, today's prize is Infused Jam. It's going to be.
Rodney, you late. We've been giving away jam the whole time, and you just now noticed Avery was the person that.
I don't think we usually say it.
Yeah.
Or no, he's finally making the connection. He's finally getting more familiar with the crew. I think.
Okay, so everybody needs to start meeting each other in the chat.
Hey, Laura Lee.
I say everybody today.
Jack, thanks for liking the
somebody,
stream. And Heather Marie.
Everybody today comment and tag somebody you don't know in the chat and say hi to them. This is going to be like our virtual shaking hands, virtual introduction.
Without gloves. Y'all are going to do some dirty chatting right now.
Well, let's try to keep the dirty chatting to the private inbox. Y'all want to do that, do it in the inbox. So everybody tag somebody and say hi. That'd be dope.
So I'm super psyched. I almost got my new thing set up, but there's one button that definitely works. It's this one. See that thing?
That's tight.
And but then the other ones, I'm setting up all the things to do. It was just taking. I'm getting there. Pretty sweet. All right, so we're giving away free jam. Now, why don't you... We're ready for you. So, everyone across all platforms, except for Instagram right now, because we can't see your chat. Sorry, come over to somewhere else. We're in a bunch of places. We'll figure that out soon.
Oh, my God. Janet and Jen.
Everyone but on
so
Instagram.
Interested in dirty chat. You guys, come on. Keep it together. I know we're quarantined. Jeez.
I don't know that quarantine is what.
The virus shit is over. We need a big shut-in, get together, safely meeting of the century. Pretty sure I said it, but.
Okay, so Eric, how do people win the contest today?
What? Larry, ain't no strippers here. I mean, Mike got this Thai dance if you want to see.
You got to donate a bunch of money for that, though.
If you want to see the Thai trick, you got to put $1,000 up in there. In our
Wait, no, don't say that. No. There's no price tag. No one's setting any price tag on anything. Holy shit! This is what Goldie did last time. Goldie, are you
Hey,
watching right now?
Larry.
Is Goldie out there?
Larry, like, hold on, let me get my checkbook out. Y'all take checks.
No, no, it's not. That's definitely not happening. Fuck. No.
He said
My
I
price
got
is
a
higher.
dollar. He said I got $1.42. What can I get
Oh,
for
good.
that?
Well,
What can I get for that?
you get an elbow. I'll
All right, so
I'll expose my elbow for that.
to win today's jam,
So, by the way,
you
I think you should still add color into it because
it's too much.
as a tiebreaker, because multiple people are going to be
They're not
guessing.
gonna get it right. They're not gonna get it right.
Of course they will.
No, they won't.
Well, they don't have to pick. No, no, no. They don't have to pick like the. You know, like they just say purple. They wouldn't say, midnight black. They just say black.
Yeah, they're not gonna get
Like
it.
normal colors. All colors.
They're not gonna get the first two.
They're not.
No.
I guarantee they will. It's going to be the quickest. All right, do it. Let's do it. We're going to win
Today's
champion.
challenge is y'all have to guess my favorite vehicle between 2000 and 2020, and you have to do the make and model
So, out of every car imaginable, what would Eric's favorite
between
car
2000
be?
and 2020.
Which implies that he's got a favorite from before 2000 that's different, but that's what the contest is today, so get going. If you want to win that jam, we don't care what platform you're on other than Instagram, you can start making guesses what you think Eric's favorite car is, and if you guess the right one, you're going to get it. We should probably tell Scott. Are you going to keep watch? Is your face because you're seeing what the guesses are?
Mm-hmm.
Hmm. Mm-hmm. Well, I said what the rules are. Hold on. Again, the rules are. Um, it's all right. The rules are. Hold on.
What? I'm
The
good.
okay, good. The rules are. You got to comment what you think his favorite car is, make and model, and you'll win. Who said Subaru Forester? That's nobody's favorite car. Fuck. Mom car. Imagine if it was. Imagine if it was. So everyone just keep guessing, and you have until the end of the show. Just throw out what you think, and every day we're gonna kind of pick something different, something.
Okay,
more
Larry, that was a
interesting.
good guess. Bugatti 2020.
And Janet, I know you're watching. It's gonna be a couple of. Well, actually, I think Nick, you're not in a rush today, are you? I think Nick likes being in the comments anyway. He is in the comments. Yeah, I think we're gonna. Doodly doo. I don't wanna. I wanna get to Janet. I wanna make Nick wait.
Oh yeah, y'all gotta keep going. Keep going. Diablo Lamborghini. JT, I said JT. A 66 Camaro, I said between 2000 and 2020. And Larry, a 1972 refurbished Dodge Dart. What made you come up with all the cars in the world? You think I'm gonna pick a 1972 Dodge Dart? Ooh. There's no such thing as a 69 Hummer, Nick. Trying to be funny.
And Janet, no rush. We're gonna come to you in a couple minutes, okay? What kind of guesses are you getting, by the way?
Everything. McLaren 2020. A Hoopty. 2003 Toyota Tercel. Okay. Okay.
Hmm.
Ford Bronco. Ooh, good guess. Good guess. Janet says she can see me in a Beetle.
Yeah, we're about to cut over to we're about to
Dang, y'all start
go
guessing.
to
Okay.
Janet McAllister and Chris Palmer in just a minute or two. Um, er,
A GMC Hummer. Jody,
well,
stop it.
Hummer is made by GMC.
Stop it, Jody. I'm
It's
not
owned by
driving
GM.
no Hummer.
No,
No,
not even the big one.
absolutely not. A limo be driven for you? Why would I want a Hummer? They get like 5 miles to the gallon.
What if you didn't have to worry
And
about
they not
gas?
even like, I still wouldn't want no Hummer. Why would I want a Hummer? I would just get a
Well,
dope truck. I get a,
well, don't name it because maybe that'll be the next contest. Is what kind of dope truck you would get, and we know now it's not a
no.
Hummer. We'll save it. We'll
Eric
save
and
all our
his bug.
we'll save revealing all of our personal information for
Okay,
contests.
Doug Aston. Okay. Aston Martin.
Mm-hmm. Um.
Ooh, Scott come with the heat. Said Tesla. You come with the heat. He said Tesla. I train to couch surf. It's a workout going from the couch to kitchen, then back, though. People on Instagram and Twitch are funny.
All right. So just in case anyone's wondering, because you just came in, everyone's guessing make and models for cars in the comments.
Oh, Johnny Two Socks said I saw footage of Eric recovering a punt attempt in 2015. That was my comment point.
Hmm. Okay.
Nice. Okay, don't be doing too much digging. Stay out my business. Mind
Hey,
your
it's on
business.
YouTube. It's on YouTube. What's up, Larry? On YouTube, we appreciate you joining. Uh, in case anyone missed it, today's tie is Versace, and
Honda
we're gonna
Accord.
have Janet McAllister and Chris Palmer on from Hippy Chick in just a minute, and then we're gonna have John Griffin on from a network, a three-letter network. And then Nick, the intern, is going to come on later. Nick actually revealed to me that he enjoys being in the comments more. He actually
He
likes
said
watching the show more.
2002 Dodge Ram truck, and then he said, "Oops, nah, that's mine."
Um,
Funny.
all right, let's go over right now.
Ooh,
Uh,
right.
and so by the way, before we go, before the virus stuff started, you had something planned with Janet. You were
Oh
gonna go up and
yeah,
do the egg hunt with the kids,
so was.
and
It
so
got
I
canceled.
well, I think they finally figured out how to get all the kids the eggs in time for Easter, but
It'd been nice to
we're
be
gonna have
there.
to plan something special
Of
um,
course.
with her to get some love up in Maine.
Gotta do our due diligence.
Oh, and we got to get ourselves in this thing. You know, can I tell? Yeah, can I tell you something? Can I just point something out? Look, so when your black head fills up the window, look, and then when you lean back, everything gets dark again.
That's the luxury of being chocolate.
Look how good everything looks when you get close, but it's not comfortable when you sit that way, right?
Yeah.
Oh,
Luxury of being chocolate.
that's hilarious.
These cameras can't read it.
It's look now you're gonna get comfortable, and then you're gonna get all dark again, be like in the shadows. See, and look,
You gotta
and
get
if I
another
get
light.
look,
You
if I
gotta
get
get
up
an
close,
LED. You gotta get
look,
another light right here.
look, if I get up close, then it works. But if I get back here, oh, forget about it.
How's this laptop not picking us up? That don't make sense to me.
Because it
It
cares
should
more.
be
It cares more about all this white
as nice
stuff.
as that laptop is, it should be able to do it. 100%.
There's probably some manual setting, and then everything's gonna get screwed up if I try to mess around with it. So, or you could just get a little closer to the camera like this. No. All right.
Overrated.
Uh, Janet McAllister and Chris Palmer,
What y'all need
welcome
to
to
look
the
at me
show.
like this?
We really appreciate you joining us this morning. How are you guys?
Closer. Hi, chocolate.
This is how Mike want us to sit, so we all
That's
can.
great.
Exactly.
You
It's
guys can
perfect.
hear us all right, all right?
Well, and now everyone's got a big old face full. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's a one-up right there.
Merchandise finally coming soon
You
someday.
win.
I'm exhausted.
Oh, from all that leaning, all
Yes.
that leaning forward. Guys, welcome to the show. We really appreciate you joining us.
Thank you for having us.
So first of all, you guys have an awesome business name. It's called Hippy Chick. Why don't you tell us a little bit about that?
I founded Hippy Chick officially in 2016 on July 20th. It was the day before my birthday. It was kind of my birthday to my birthday present to myself was LLCing my business and making it legal. Chris has kind of always been a part of the business, though more from a distance because he's originally from Massachusetts. He came in officially in 2018? 2018, and Chris is basically a genius in the business. He can do everything. So he's been very key in the entire business the whole time. We have a CBD and apothecary business, so we bring essential oils into the mix in a very therapeutic way. So some things when you open them, you're thinking, geez, that's not the smell I would expect. But when you use it, it works phenomenally well because it's about the therapeutic benefits of the oils and the ingredients more than it is the aromatherapy.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And you guys are located in Maine, is that correct?
We're looking what?
You're located.
My grandson.
Oh no, that's okay.
Set him up here.
Bring him on in.
Bring him on in, he says. He's like Captain Underpants. He's potty training, so he wears nothing more than a pair of underpants anywhere right now.
Oh, that's awesome. I wish I was that confident in life to just walk around in underpants like that all day.
Me too.
All he wants to do is play in the dirt with his cars. I can't blame him.
So you guys are located in Maine, but I'm assuming you also have a website that folks can like shop for your stuff.
That's correct.
Yes.
And so, and in Maine, is your shop like totally closed right now? Or are you doing some sort of curbside pickup stuff or?
My CBD shop is closed to the public.
Okay.
Chris is a caregiver, so we are still meeting curbside with people. We will accommodate people. We're still making products for people. We're still doing mail order. We are still functional, completely open business other than protecting our manufacturing facility by not having the public come in anymore.
Okay. And, so this I think might be interesting because there's folks in the audience that probably don't really understand what a caregiver is when it comes to cannabis. And so even though you're in Maine and you're a licensed caregiver, you're allowed to be a caregiver. In Massachusetts, they have something very similar. So Chris, could you explain to the audience what a caregiver is and what they do?
Well, the caregiver program in Maine, we service medical patients that are actually went out and got their card for not just recreational, but a medical card. That allows a caregiver to register them as a patient. And then that caregiver can tailor the medicine to the patient's needs. So if they're looking for a certain strain to help with a certain ailment, we can help them with that. And then we can grow their medicine based on their needs. So they're not just going out searching and not finding. We go out there and actually grow what they need.
And so basically, like, you are a legal alternative to people going to a dispensary.
That's correct. Yeah.
And the idea is that you're generally probably giving a little bit more specific attention to what the patient needs, because as opposed to growing for a giant audience of folks coming in to buy, you're just growing specifically for people that align with you as patients.
Correct. Or I can grow a specific strain and then make sure I'm supplying that to patients that need that specific medicine, or donate in such a way that someone sees how well it works, so then they can go find a caregiver that can grow them their own medicine.
That's really
I'm going to go a step further, because there's a whole underlying philosophy in our business that we look at a patient as a whole person. Like you can treat a person's pain, but how did they get into that pain? Like what's the root of the problem? And you can treat a person's anxiety and depression, but unless you get to the root of the problem, they're always going to have anxiety and depression. So I've seen Chris do things like put a person's family on their tincture bottle to remind them what they're fighting for every single day when they take their medicine. That's treating, spiritual, mental, plus physical. It goes way deeper than that when you're talking caregiver. And even in my business, this is an underlying philosophy and foundation that we have in our business, treating whole person.
So, there's folks in the comments that are like, wait, there's such a thing as a caregiver? So how, obviously, you guys, and we have your website up here, and I'm sure Scott the Superfan at some point will find your Instagram account and Facebook account and put the links in the comments as well. But even just, because there's a lot of folks here that aren't in Maine. So just normally, like, how does somebody figure out where to find a caregiver? How do you, because honestly, I don't even know. Like Eric, I don't have my medicinal card. Eric needs his renewed.
I started so I can grow medicine for family members. So I got involved because I saw a need in my own family for somebody to grow medicine. Yeah. So that's how I originally got involved, was for my own family needs. But then I picked up other patients as I moved forward. So there is a need out there, whether it's in your own family or somebody else's. If you have a want to do this and you have a passion to do it, there are steps. You can go on different agricultural websites for different states and get the paperwork to sign up to be a caregiver. It's a little different state to state.
The really cool thing about Maine's program is Maine will take anybody's medical card from any state that has a medical program. So anybody in Massachusetts looking for very specific, personalized care, get a hold of us via email, because as long as you have a medical card, Chris can help you.
Okay. Very cool. And so Maine, what you're saying is Maine is reciprocal to out-of-state medical cards.
Yes.
Correct.
That's awesome. Cool. And people are able to even just contact you through the website, or what's the best way, Chris, for people to hook up with you?
It would be email. info@hippychickllc.com would be the best way right now. And we can consult and check out the patient needs and kind of go from there. Every person has their own story or own needs behind their wants. So we'd like to hear that so that we can customize, the regimen of whatever medicine we're going to take. Not everybody likes to smoke it. Not everybody likes to ingest it. So it all depends on the patient's needs.
Okay. Janet, can you tell us, we were sad that because of the pandemic that we weren't able to come up for the egg hunt. So do you want to tell us a little bit about what the egg hunt was supposed to be about, and then kind of like what happened with it? And I know, obviously we all couldn't get together for it, but I know that it was trying to do some good and trying to, have some kids have some fun. But why don't you tell us about it?
Originally, the Easter egg hunt it's not religious based at all, even though it's an Easter egg hunt. It's very community based. It's just a way of bringing community members together after a really long, harsh winter. Up here in Maine, winters are long. The day before the event was supposed to be held, we had 18 inches of snow drop.
So
it can be brutal up here, and it can be very isolating because we're all in very rural communities. We also collaborate with the JD Foundation, which is all about suicide prevention. So it's just a really great message. Being so isolated, the suicide rate up here is sometimes a lot higher than you would expect it to be. Their program is very needed, so having them involved was just a great way to shed some light and bring in another support system for community members. This year was supposed to be a really large gathering. We had Eric coming up. We had the Pine State Heroes coming in. We had well over 5,000 Easter eggs collected. It was shaping up to be really beautiful, and then the world kind of shut down. So rather than doing the community gathering, we bagged up all of the eggs. The eggs were distributed to 3 different communities that are close to me. And honestly, they helped out a lot of families in need. One of the big prizes, this is what made me happy, is sometimes things happen for a reason. When you're trying to reach the right people, it's just really beautiful the way the universe works out. One of the prizes actually went to a little boy who's in foster care. So y'all know foster care is not kind. It can often be, a lot of displacement, and kids are leaving with homes with nothing, they're just taken. So to have a wagon delivered and be able to have a little bit of normalcy, that just made me really happy to see that happen. So it worked out the way it needed to, I guess.
Oh, that's well, I think hopefully once we're all allowed to start gathering again, where Eric and I were talking, we're excited to try to get something special going with you up there and do something nice for the folks.
One of the prizes was a hoverboard. I'm sure Eric can teach that boy how to use it.
Nah, I'm gonna fall myself.
And we'd love to videotape that.
So now that the egg hunt is done, I know that you're, what are there other things going on up in Maine right now where you guys are, or folks are trying to do? I know it's kind of tough where folks can't gather, but what are folks trying to do up in Maine? Are there any sort of charitable efforts going on, or?
There's a gentleman, and he's one of our strongest customers. His name's David Palmer. Huge shout out if you're watching, David. He's got a program going on called #DexterStrong. He's delivering food to like 50 families all on his own. He owns an inn. He was the inn that we were going to put you guys up at if you would come up for the Easter egg hunt. He's just really stepped up out of like quietness, because he's a pretty quiet, humble guy, and just took the lead and really is taking care of his community in some big ways. He stands out the most, I would say, in our small area.
We're unrelated too. Unrelated. I'm from Mass, and he was always up here, so it's pretty funny to meet some very kind strangers and then say, hey, we have the same last name. Where are you originally from? Oh, totally not anywhere close to each other.
Yep.
So yeah.
No, Taylor Easton, if anybody...
What a gorgeous inn. Yeah.
Yeah, if anybody from down Massachusetts way, when everything opens up and you want to take a little vacation, please check them out. They deserve your business. He's more than proven it. For sure.
So did you guys have a good 420? What did you do yesterday?
We're working on getting the outdoor garden going.
Yeah.
So a lot of vegetables watered and just preparing for spring up here. We get a late spring, so we're just waiting for that nighttime frost to be over so we can get planting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
With kids home from school, there's a lot of homeschooling projects. I personally am very anti online schooling. I think my kids' faces are in tablets way too much. So we're more of a hands-on project learning. So they have probably close to 800 vegetable seedlings growing right now. We're incubating chicken eggs. We're watching one egg. It's due to hatch any day. So yeah, we got some different stuff going on this year, and we have the time. I mean, last year we were away from home 3 months out of the year, 4 months out of the year, which is a lot of time for. I'm a single mom, and his babies are just babies. So really, for us, this is more getting back to our roots. Just being home is kind of nice, actually.
Mm-hmm.
It's stressful not to have the financial flow going, but being home has been nice. I can't argue with that.
Cut up on a few things.
Right.
Well, we
There's
definitely
no
have
starvation yet.
we definitely have a few medical patients in the comments who are excited to know that Maine is reciprocal. So hopefully they'll be reaching out to you. So excellent.
Yeah, we're about 5 hours north of Boston, but
Okay.
honestly, we love a drive. So all it takes is some coordination and making sure you have your medical card. But we can travel.
Oh, very cool.
Nice.
Okay. I don't know what else is.
Somebody in the comments said, "Are those Pheno Cup babies?"
Oh yeah, tell us about the plants in front of you.
This is our nursery, so we have a bunch of different strains started. There's a bunch of THC strains, but we also have CBD only strains going for a couple different patients. Again, this is the nursery. We're just getting some things started, and then we'll spec them from here before they go and actually go into flower. Once we
What
find one
strains
we
are
like,
there?
they'll get cloned. There's a cloning equipment behind you, actually.
What strains
And,
are there?
We got a couple different rooms going right now. A couple rooms full of vegetables. Like it's great right now. Wake up every day, like just to water and run out to check on all the plants.
Mm-hmm. And watering, we are going to a natural spring and transporting buckets of water home. We don't water with town water, and they really love that. It's a lot better.
There was a buffet going on and decided to eat a bunch of plants.
Yeah, that did happen. Took out most of the summer squash. Oh,
Well, excellent. Excellent. We really appreciate you guys joining us today. Everyone out there, make sure you like and follow Hippy Chick on Facebook and Instagram, and definitely visit their website up on the screen. We really appreciate you guys hanging out with us today for a little bit.
Thank you.
Thank you
guys.
very much.
There's plenty of great information on our website if you want to check it out.
Your hair looks huge, by the way.
It is huge. I have tons of hair.
I wish I had that much hair.
I wish I had.
I'll
some.
share. I'm due for a haircut.
Until you have to clean the drain.
Yeah.
Oh,
Small
that's
animals
just
in the drain is crazy.
Yeah, every hair I lose is getting scarce.
Yeah, it looks it.
Just start braiding it. You'll be all right.
I would, if you can find somebody to braid this hair, then please tell me.
Well, thanks for coming on, guys, and we hope to have you back on soon.
Thank you. We'll
Thank
see
you
soon.
very much.
Hopefully outside in the garden next time.
Oh, awesome.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that would be great.
Nice.
All right, take care. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Take care.
Have a great day.
Bye-bye. Thanks, everybody.
They're nice. I like Janet. And Chris. I don't know if I've ever met Chris before. But Janet's really cool.
Good friends. Good friends. Hopefully I can go make a trip down there and go visit them. Get some vegetables.
I like plastic
Oh yeah, all kinds of good veggies on. What's on that list?
Get some vegetables and some good old Maine grow.
Somebody was saying no medical card is recognized over state lines, but there are. Massachusetts says that you can come in from outside of Massachusetts with your card.
Sock said Mike looked like he combed his hair with a balloon.
Yeah, I don't know. Really?
Johnny Two Stars clowning today.
Yeah, it's not great. I haven't had a haircut in like 6 weeks or something. I went too long before the virus stuff started without getting a haircut, and then it started, and now I can't get a haircut. It's driving me crazy.
Just check out your laws.
Who's saying that?
1970 refurbished in 2010. Stop it, Larry.
So just in case anyone has forgotten, there's a contest going on right now in the comments. So if you guess
Jen's
Eric's...
telling us a smile.
There's a contest going on in the comments right now across all platforms. If you guess Eric's favorite car, and Larry, that's a great guess, except that the guess is between 2000 and 2020. So everyone guess, and if you guess it, the prize today is Infused Jam, which is one of everyone's. It's not necessarily the favorite prize. I don't know what that is.
Start smiling now.
But it's one of people's favorite prizes, and make sure you go like Healthy Futures Farms
So you always smiling.
Facebook and Instagram.
No, I just got a smile because Jen said so I can't start smiling. Oh, she said, oh,
Oh, so this way you look like you froze.
It's extremely hard to talk.
Yeah. So Larry, that's a good guess, right? Because that fits within the thing. It's because you did say year, but it's year. It's really year, make, and model, but it's really just make and model. So Lady J, I think that just so everyone knows, the deal with the Infused Jam is that when you win it, you have to show your ID. It's like a 21 and over thing. Yeah, I know what you want me to shake.
Mike trying to be funny.
you want me to shake.
2004 Freightliner. No, not big enough with pedals.
Yeah, so in 2003, me and two of my buddies, one of which is in the comments, we decided that we were gonna shave our heads, sort of in like solidarity for the Pats, and so Jay we were all gonna do it. Like, we'll all have a crazy haircut for the Super Bowl, right? And so Jay was like, I'll go first. And so we gave him a monk's cut. Like, we only shaved the top of his head and left all the hair on the sides. And then I think Coop shaved off almost all of his hair. And then I just shaved the sides of mine. I just gave a little trim. And Jay's always a good sport, but Jay had like the crazy haircut just for that day. I think he cut it the next day.
I will be 53 in a few months.
No. Lady J, everyone gets jammed because everyone has been giving her a copy of their ID because she needs to do that because it's a 21 and over.
Well, he's 52 now. He'll be 53 and he is single and ready to mingle.
Everyone has gotten their jam. I think Lady J is the only one that hasn't been mailed out yet.
He is a white man with black hair, semi-built, got a green shirt on. He look like he might got a beard, but yeah, holla at him. His name is Larry, and he's something wonderful. I can tell you, he's a prince waiting for his princess.
Good guess, Jen.
Hello,
I like that guess. No, Lady J, it's not that. It's just because some people are going for their cannabis license, so they need to make sure everything is like
channel. Hello from Lynn, Massachusetts.
Is cool. It's just the gifting thing. It's just her making sure. And we know you're old enough.
Miss. What is her name? Oh, you gotta pronounce.
What's going on? Miguelina
Mata.
Mm-hmm.
That sounds like a Mortal Kombat name.
And her picture kind of looks like sexy Mortal Kombat too, like she's a ninja, lady ninja.
Who you beat up for a living?
So welcome. That's really cool that you two people are like sort of just stumbling on our stuff. We have like a few subscribers there now, like 50. Pretty cool.
Hey, true.
So shout out to Healthy Futures Farms.
Thank you for calling us great. I appreciate it.
Listen, if you win the contest, she's the person who's you're getting it from is going to be like, hey, can you just provide me an ID?
Bald Mike
so
will
take
look like his neck blew a bubble.
Who said that?
Johnny Two Socks talking mad shit today.
He's feeling saucy today. Thanks, Trish. We think you're great too.
Boy finna get that block.
Lady J, I'm not saying I understand your why you think it's unnecessary, but it's just the way that it is. I'm sorry. Shout out to
Gotta
Christy who
follow
liked
the
our stream.
rules like everybody else.
Shout out to Trish. Shout out to
Nobody's
Trish who
better than nobody
Shout out to
else.
Trish who keeps saying such nice things. I appreciate that.
Larry trying to holler at Lynn. Okay.
All right.
Look
Go
like we
for
got
it.
a little mingle in the comments. Ooh, we finna be making love connections.
So Lady J, I want desperately for you to
That
have
was a
your
good.
jam. I really
That was a
do.
good guess, JC.
And if there's, just message me later because maybe there's a way I can even drop it off. If you're that uncomfortable with giving, a copy of your ID to Avril, then I get it. So let's talk. It's just then it won't get mailed from her. That's all. That's all. That's all. The car the Pink Panther, the Black Panther, the Pink Panther, the Black Panther drives. Isn't that a BMW? I think it's some sort of BMW. It's like a cool BMW. So shout out to Avril from Healthy Futures Farms. They're amazing. She and Nate,
Maserati.
they are the sponsors for today's contest.
That was
Free
nice
stuff
guess.
every day.
Maserati.
That's a you know what? There's like nice, there's like guesses that make you feel good, and then there's guesses that don't make you feel good.
You also need to message them with your address. Let them know, Dan. Dan the man.
Yeah, but Dan, it's also not just the address; it's the
ID.
picture of
'cause
ID.
if
That's
if
the requirement for
underage,
Jam.
you
That's
get
just how
punched.
it works.
If you're underage, we coming to your crib and finding you and talking to your parents.
Trish, we're glad that you have a gorgeous man. Just because you're saying nice compliments doesn't mean that you're.
I have a gorgeous man myself.
Yeah, that's cool.
Okay.
We're happy. We're happy for that.
Yeah, we
If you're
probably-
quarantined, it's nice to have somebody to be
yeah,
locked up with. That's cool.
So why you watching us then?
No, she just likes us. I mean, It's
You
not
like to
mutually
smile.
It's not mutually exclusive. She does. She likes that smile.
It's that chocolate smile.
She likes the chocolate.
My chocolate smile. But you can also get some white chocolate right here, and it comes with a tie.
Oh yeah, you're talking about me. Yeah, that's true.
You talking about me?
I didn't really it didn't process until you said the tie part.
You got the Kit Kat and the white Kit Kat, but his come with a tie.
I'm trying to think of what other.
Mine's come with designs. My tattoos.
Oh,
Nice.
I didn't know what you meant for a second. I thought you meant like architectural plans. You need to know how to build your house. Eric's got you covered.
Oh, Jen says, see ya, cover your ass, show your ID to get the 21 plus treats. I'm the only Twitch viewer. No one sees my comments. 2006 Ford Focus.
No,
Johnny
we don't.
Two Sides. We all see your comments.
We all
That's
see
why I
your-
say I'm out loud so everybody.
But Johnny, you could also just come over to Facebook if you wanted. There's a lot of people over here.
Johnny ain't Facebook happy. He Twitch.
Everyone knows how to. It takes like 5 seconds to make a Facebook account. I get it. We're all.
Trish said, I'm not locked up with him. Well, then where is
Oh, hey, Trish.
he? Where's your husband at then? You can't have a husband and y'all not be locked up together. What is he doing?
Well, maybe there's something. Maybe there's something going on that she doesn't want to talk about. Or maybe she killed him. Did you hear about that whole thing? No, think about it. With everyone with the virus thing. No, listen. People might be killing each other and just being like, "Oh, you died from virus causes," and no one wants to do autopsies. So how do you even know? You know what I'm saying?
Well, I'm sure they're gonna test him and be like, "This dude doesn't."
I don't think
have
they
the
are.
virus.
I don't think they have enough tests for alive people. I don't think they're testing anyone who's dead.
Well, I'm sure if you kill somebody and you hit them across the head, that's not a.
So maybe Trish didn't hit him across the head. Maybe Trish just
poisoned him
or suffocated him, or I don't know, or scared him to death. Maybe he has a weak heart. Maybe
you would see something around the neck. That's what they got.
no, like
autopsy
choke
for.
from the inside. But that's the thing is they don't want to do autopsies right now because if she says that she thinks he
So
died
the
from
police
corona,
come to your house and find a dead body, and you say, "Oh, I think he died from coronavirus," and that's the first thing you say. Guess what? That cop gonna be like, "You full of shit because you ain't got it. Let's get you tested. You should have it then, since that's your significant other." Correct. Well, If they don't have it, if that person don't have it, then clearly something else is going on. I'm just saying.
Johnny Two Socks, we hear you that Facebook is too intrusive. Totally hear you. It's just most of the people we know are on Facebook, so just we're happy for you to stay where you want.
That's cool. Private best.
Private investigator.
What? That's why you was calling out my football plays and stuff, looking me up. Hey, bro, don't be using your retired skills to look me up. Stay out my business. I did like your name at first, but now I see why you got it. It's catchy. So you can keep people. I see what you're doing, Johnny. I see what you're doing.
By the way, Trish said that her hubs is a driver, so he's out driving. APAC driver. I'm not sure what APAC stands for. I thought it was like Asia Pacific something.
He's a driver. Okay.
But he's a driver. Driving stuff.
Tell him to bring some food. Drop off some food. Because we hungry.
Did you know, and I won't even say who or what or whatever, but there were like public posts yesterday about people complaining about you eating chips on the podcast.
Why were they complaining?
Because so many people don't like to see other people eating, I guess. It's not a you thing. I think it's just it's an eating thing.
I don't care about what y'all think. Like, this is not y'all show.
When I say so many, not so many. I'm just saying, like, they're,
People are so annoying. Y'all, why y'all complain, yo? Y'all, it can't nothing be perfect for y'all. Like, everything got to be perfect. Yo, actually, nah. Y'all want to see the effects of when I don't eat? Watch.
This is it. Well, this is it right now.
I'm going to give them the real facts. I'm going to give them the real facts. I'm going to come on here. I ain't saying nothing. Y'all ain't finna get nothing out of me. Y'all ain't getting no treats. Y'all ain't getting no giveaway. None of that. So you want to complain about me eating? Just understand. All this little stuff that we do, these little giggles you be getting from us, this little morning entertainment, all that shit go out the drain. Tired of people complaining. Y'all pissing me off, man.
No, Johnny Two Socks. We know you just looked him up. It's easy to Google him.
And I'm talking about all the people who complain. And if you complain and don't want to say who you are, that's fine. Now I already know who said it. You just gave yourself away, Jody. But we are watching your show. If we wanted to see an animal eat, I'd go to the farm.
No, Jody wasn't the one, actually.
Are you calling me an animal, Jody? Is that what you're saying, that I am? What kind of animal am I, Jody? Please enlighten everybody.
That can be tomorrow's contest.
What kind of animal would I be? I didn't know I was an animal. I thought I was a human being, Jody. So I appreciate you calling me out of my name. That's so messed up. I didn't even know. I was just hungry.
Whose cheeks are so cute? She must be in yours. In the damn mic. Oh, Melissa Amy is saying into the damn mic. I don't think Melissa Amy was publicly posting about it, but she was vocal yesterday. She didn't like that. She had a big problem with it.
Exactly.
How does it make you feel, Melissa Amy? Yeah, so Joanna, we are
exactly, Dan. I am a man.
So here's the deal. And y'all save these the merch questions. Actually, get your merch questions ready for when Nick comes on. And then he's going to tell her that.
They are turning on me.
What's up, Muddy?
Everybody turning on me, John.
Shout out to Beantown.
I can't trust nobody.
It's the day after 420. That's why.
Yeah, so everybody mad now? Is that what it is?
Oh, Larry, I know what Larry's talking about. So, Larry, you're actually trying to read the chat on the thing.
You gotta slow down. I can't read.
No, he's trying to read. He's trying to read the chat right here.
My man, like,
no, because the only way that Larry can see everyone's comments. Larry, you missed it yesterday. We had 2,000 comments on the live thing. You would not have been able to read it all. Man. But yeah, it's right here. It's this stuff.
Our YouTube viewer, Matt, he said stop with the quick comments. He's trying to read y'all stuff. Slow it down, people.
Slow it down.
Trying to read y'all stuff.
Yo, everyone on Facebook, hurry up and comment a bunch just to piss off Larry.
Andrew Muddy said, I'm shipping here to Lady J and Heather Wright meow.
Yeah.
Cat's meow. Yes, Lady
Andrew,
J, so you can stay out the comments complaining.
But we want you in the comments. We like you in the comments.
We like you in the comments. We don't like negativity, though.
She's mad. She's upset.
and you
She's
shouldn't
upset.
be because it's free.
So,
If it cost you, I understand.
well, and normally contests like when you win stuff on the radio and stuff is like 4 to 6 weeks.
Exactly.
And I'm not saying it's just 4 to 6 weeks. I'm just saying.
Lauren said, "You guys are adorable, both of you, with 4 hearts and a kissy face."
Wait, who said that?
So who gets the kissy face? Because you only put one. I can understand splitting the 2 green hearts, but who gets the kissy face? Is it me or him?
Hi,
Is it
Lori.
the chocolate or the white chocolate? I'm
Kind of,
trying to figure it out.
kind of chocolate do you like, Lori?
Got you, bro. They need to recognize. Trista says, "Strip, strip. Do not be mad." LOL. I saved 12.5% on truck insurance today. Great job, Larry. Send me some of that.
Oh, so Trish, this is a good thing for us to bring up actually right now. So on Facebook we have like just under 2,000 subscribers. You know, and we'll do it across all things. If we get
playing,
10,000
lady.
followers,
We know you playing.
if we get 10,000 followers, we're gonna play some music and he's gonna strip his shirt off, just his shirt. So that's how you can get him to strip.
If we get 100,000, Mike gonna do the tie trick.
Lady J, we know you're joking, and we are always joking too.
Mike's gonna do the tie trick at 100,000.
Lori says she loves all chocolate.
Show. It takes one cute girl to devolve. What? Devolve the whole show. You need one cute girl on the show.
Dan, what are you trying to say? You trying to say she's cute? Where's your wife, Dan?
Yeah, Danny. Danny. Get him. He's starting to get a little too much. What was that?
No. Well, so Eric's only because that's 10,000. If you guys want him to take off more, there needs to be something else involved, I guess.
Lady J, we don't take you serious. That's the reason why we're doing the show, because we're not serious. That's the reason why we act the way we do.
That when we do the Zoom thing and then I gotta like lean way in, it's I need a backiotomy.
Jen, I'm kind of thrilled to take off my shirt at 10,000, so then you guys can see this
Chiseled chocolate.
cut up chocolate. I've been working on it too, so y'all gonna get some good. Y'all gonna get some good views, some good eye candy.
I've been eating brownies.
But 10,000, y'all got a ways to go. You better start hitting up the friends and all, but the longer y'all wait, the more the better this body gonna look. So it's up to y'all. Y'all can get, y'all can get semi decent chocolate, or you can get that high grade, nice cut, laser cut chocolate. I'm so imagine having coffee, and you guys are so fun. Well, thank you, Lauren.
So
Lori.
is Keith Laham watching? He was up when we started. I don't know how that. You know what Keith
Come on,
does?
Dan. You know
Can I
we
tell you-
cooler
Keith-
than cucumbers.
Keith watches on YouTube. He doesn't even watch on Facebook.
Damn, Jen. All right, hey, Jen. Don't be adding the extra. We not doing baby oil. I put on some regular, what I got in there? Cocoa butter, but I ain't putting on no baby oil. You ain't finna have me out here looking like, don't be letting my chocolate shine too much. I'm going to do your workouts, Mike. I like Jen's idea. Stop, Heather. I like Jen's idea.
Wait, what's Jen's idea?
To put baby oil on.
On who?
On me when I take off my shirt. Exactly. That's what I said.
Well, that feels like it needs to be a bonus or something, doesn't it?
Exactly. It has to definitely be a bonus. Unless somebody
Can't just
donate.
be-
If we get 10,000 likes and somebody donate $1,000, then maybe we could do a baby oil. Lori Lori said you misunderstood. I want your shirt to keep. I'll send my mailing address. Oh wow.
Wait, what? Your shirt to keep?
Yeah.
Your shirt to keep? Okay, I mean, so to sign, like, can he wash it first, or do you need the Eric Stank still in it?
Stop. You don't be talking about people's fetishes on here.
You want?
Look, you don't have to
It
send.
needs to smell nice and sour. You want like one
Stop.
workout or like 5
Whoa.
workouts? You want like 5?
You guys.
We'll wrap it up for you. We'll totally wrap it up for you.
You guys are too much. Ah, there we go. That's what I was waiting for. Lori said, "I'll take the tie too." I was waiting for it. Y'all get off of me. Get on mic. Yep. Trish said, "I need my tie." Ooh, y'all want the tie?
Takes a
I
lot.
knew it.
Takes a lot to get this tie. Tie ain't for free.
Johnny Two Socks said, "How much to keep the shirt on? I got cash."
No, Johnny, that's what's gonna happen with me.
I got cash.
They're gonna pay to get his shirt off, but then they gotta pay to keep my shirt on.
Dang. How much you offering, Johnny? Cause shit, I already got my shirt on. I just need that money. What kind of underwear you wearing? Looking? Come on, don't be asking weird questions.
Oh, we still have a show to do.
I'm just teasing you because you're great. I will get the tie. Man, we got everybody in here fighting over the ties.
Let me get my act together.
Man, I'm hungry. Who got some eggs? Who got the eggs? Oh, the eggs.
So Eric, wait, you're singing about breakfast?
I'm hungry.
Yeah,
All these girls talking about they want us in our shirts and ties and stuff. They need to want to make us some breakfast, please.
I don't know how many times we have to beg for breakfast until. Oh, don't you? Oh, you ate all your pickled eggs. Thank God.
Oh no, I didn't eat them all. It's still some in there.
We're in the fridge.
Oh yeah, what up, Joey P? Where you been, dog? Where you been, Joey? What it do, baby?
I can, John.
Alright, awesome, dude. I'm in, so whenever you want to add me in, I'm here with you.
Cool. Give us just a sec.
Take your time, man.
Mike went to go get something special for y'all. Something also dear to his heart. What the hell is those noises? Brownies? I'll bring your food, but you gotta pay the tax. What's the tax? I hope you ain't talking about a different kind of tax. Oh, Lori, you in Ohio? I mean, that's only a 10-hour drive. If you leave,
Depends on where in Ohio.
If you leave around, let me see. If you leave around 10 p.m., you should be able to get to us just in time. You see him fresh to death, huh?
Mike, the 90s called. They want their tie back.
Dang, you got some moonshine, Larry? What's up?
Yeah, I got about 300 of them.
Shirts off eating grapes.
That's why. So John, every day on the show, I wear a different tie. It's sort of a thing with. There's like 3 people that pay attention.
What you talking about, Heather Brown? Hell yeah, Jen. April does need a gym.
Well, I'll trade you. I'll trade you my tie collection for your car collection.
She need to call it Get Jam. Get Jam, Jam and Jam. Oh, something like that. Jam, Jam Dollar, Jam Boogie. Says Mike knows my friend Jibby, Jason, and VT.
Uh huh. I do. We are in southeastern Massachusetts.
Damn, you guys slow eating those eggs. You want me to eat
Yeah,
one?
we are. We're right on the water, and there's a bridge.
I'm gonna eat one before we go to
Bridge
John.
back there too. What are you getting? I'm sorry. Where are you? Oh, okay. All right. So Eric's just getting a fork for his eggs.
So how bad y'all want me to make this look? Like y'all want me to get the eggs and the hot sauce?
Oh, there's all kinds of hot sauce over here.
We got eggs and hot sauce. Let's have Rodney pick. Ooh, shit. Let's
Does it stink too much for you? It stinks too much for you. You literally opened up that egg jar and it
Let's-
stunk too much for
Oh
you.
yeah, let's because I haven't ate yet. Let's
This is not gonna be good.
Rodney. It's not Ruben. Yeah, Rodney. Rodney, where you at, man? Pick one of these hot sauces for me to dabble on the egg while I eat it. I had some funny chocolate mushrooms might play in the rain today because of it. What?
Who said that? I think we should go with. I'm gonna go with the habanero. Or is that not hot enough?
Rodney not even in the comments. Come on, Rodney. Where you at, man?
I thought those two.
Yeah, that's-
Jalapeno. What about the jalapeno? Did you try that one yet?
there he is. Which hot sauce?
Wait, is Melissa Amy begging for you not to eat this? Is that what she's begging for? Yeah, my stomach is already
She
a
said
little
move
alert.
your mic. I don't know what. Are you chewing? Who's chewing? Oh, well, not chew.
Oh,
He said eat the habanero.
I'm not eating anything.
You want Mike to eat the habanero?
No,
Is that what you
I'm
said?
eating infused brownies.
You
That's
guys
all I'm
said-
eating.
You guys said you want Mike to try the hot sauce?
Nope.
Not me?
Nope.
You guys want Mike to suffer and burn? Ooh.
Look, so John, for charity, I had to drink basically about like 6 ounces of pickled egg juice. Yeah, it was. Yeah, and it wasn't my idea. It suddenly just got sprung upon me, and then people were donating money, and suddenly I felt like trapped into doing it.
This is habanero hot sauce.
So, and then on the show, we have a thing where Eric will eat pickled eggs, and everyone finds it gross because it smells so bad. And then he inevitably spills the juice on me somewhere, and for some reason the crowd loves that. How was that, Eric? By the way,
Amazing.
yeah, we actually have something going where we're getting money in from charity so that we can help to support local farms and then take that food, their farm shares, and get it out to people who are in need of fresh vegetables. So it's really cool. Like every $10
That was good.
feeds a family of 4 vegetables for a week.
Oh my God! All in one bite.
All right, so I'm so glad I didn't smell that pickled egg.
See, look, Lauren said I make my own pickled eggs and beets. Superfood.
Oh, John, it's like
Lauren, you should
it's
sneak
like
some pickled
eating
beets.
salt and vinegar chips on an airplane. That that sounds really bad, actually.
No, dude, there's no bigger office party foul than that. Everybody knows it.
JT said post link. I'll donate it.
No. Nobody needs to donate anything. I'm not eating anything for charity today.
Mike said that he'd do whatever
No.
y'all need.
And Goldie's not here. There's no one. There's no one in the audience that can
Oh,
convince me.
Goldie.
There's no one in the audience other than Goldie that can convince me.
Goldie, where are
And I'm not. And I don't.
you?
I haven't eaten. Come on. Nobody should make me do that.
Goldie,
I.
we
w-
need
I was
you
actually in pain for a couple of days, for like 2 days.
Goldie, where
Yeah, no, I
are
agree.
you?
Whatever Trisha's saying, no, talk about.
We need that lovely influence.
Hey, Mike, sorry, I
got.
dropped the phone.
Oh, I just smelled some of that egg on you.
Dude,
Uh-oh.
I can smell it from here.
Uh-oh.
Oh,
Uh-oh. Melissa said, hold up, I'll get her. Oh, Melissa finna make it happen.
wait, what's going on?
Melissa finna make it happen.
With what?
People tagging Goldie.
No, nobody needs to tag Goldie. I was just
Oh,
saying.
shit, they tagging her.
I was just saying that Goldie's the only one that can convince me of anything. And it was Goldie last time that. And
Lauren, you sending me some pickled beets to eat on camera? That's what
Mike, you still got me. I dropped the phone.
yeah, I got you, John.
Awesome, dude. Awesome.
Oh, all right. It's time for us to go.
Yeah, call her in.
No, nobody needs to bring Goldie in.
What's funny is Goldie.
Well, she helped her. Apparently, she helped her raise some money that day. So I'm not gonna hate on her. I love Goldie. Goldie's
You
the
should
best.
practice pickled egg this.
I'm gonna pretty soon. There's gonna be like two. There's gonna be like a camera angle here and a camera angle there.
Just donate it again, folks. Let's bring up some cash for this cause. Shout out to JT donating twice today. If you want to be like somebody, be like JT.
No, Jay, you don't need to do that.
Donate
Jay,
more.
you could
The
just
more
bring us
you
breakfast.
donate,
Jay, you could totally just bring us
the more you
breakfast.
donate, the more Mike is willing to sacrifice his lovely appetite to satisfy you guys' form of entertainment.
You know, everyone. I think we raised $125 a few days ago when that happened.
Jen loves talking about me. She calls me penis breath. Now today I'm fart breath.
Ah.
So
Dude, what'd you guys have for breakfast?
Nothing. That's the problem, John. So we've done John. I'm gonna bring you over now since I've had your
Yeah,
audio.
no,
going for
whatever you guys want to do. I'm good.
I've had. So, ladies and gentlemen, live with us right now is John Griffin. John, we listed John as working at a three-letter network. John, let us know. Tell us why that is, real quick, just so we.
So I work for a very well-known three-letter network that shall remain nameless because, silly me, I never asked my PR department if I had permission to do this because, whoopsie. So I'd kind of like to have a job by the time this is all over. But just know that it rhymes with, I don't know, DMM, something like that.
Gotcha.
I'm a senior producer, and I that's a big point of pride for me. Whenever anyone says, oh, you're a producer, I go, hey, senior. I didn't go to 7 years of evil medical school to be called Mister. Anyway, but yeah, it's I love when people go, oh, you're a producer. Oh, you must be the shit. And I'm like, no, as you know, Mike. So anyway.
Oh, often it's a thankless job, but you do kind of run the show. You run things behind the scenes.
I mean, I got to a certain level, and I'm happy to be there, especially now. It's like, well, I mean, just for a technical reason, being in media during something like this is like being the Undertaker when Clint Eastwood comes to town. I mean, you're not going to lose your job because you gotta report on all this stuff. But I mean, what we do is important. Keeping people informed means something, especially now. So.
Mm-hmm. So how has the virus and the pandemic sort of affected you personally and professionally, and maybe even just from a from media organization standpoint. Are things sort of going as usual, and just folks are working a lot from home, or how's that working out?
No, nothing's going as usual. I mean, it's funny. It's like, personally, professionally, in media, out of media, to me, the real pandemic is that all of us are going, huh? you know, no one knows what the hell is happening. But I will tell you this. I think that what we've done great, and what so many media organizations has done great, other than showing off the living rooms of very well-heeled people with beautiful bookshelves and nice painting, is the way that we were able to, stand up basically an entire network based on video conferencing. Well, I mean, I don't have to tell you. You guys are doing it right now. I mean, to me, as somebody who like nerds out on TV and the history of TV and the history of media, I think that's the silver lining in this. The fact that, we can send 1 million reporters out into the field all day long. I mean, we can get a signal off from Syria in the middle of a war zone, for Christ's sake. This, ironically, was harder. And we did it. We did it. I mean, and I think that's cool. And like when I watched like the late night hosts, doing what is essentially a credible, real show from their living rooms, I'm like, oh man, when this story gets written, like that's gonna be one of the bright spots. That like it didn't matter that we had the virus, it didn't matter we had this pandemic. We still got out there, we still got on the air or on the web or whatever medium you choose, and we still kept people entertained and informed. And I think that's cool. So that's how the media business has changed to a certain degree. The other thing that I think is very interesting, and I think about it a lot, obviously above my pay scale, but this whole debate on whether or not you air these Trump things wall to wall. I think that's a big conversation. Again, I'm not the boss, so I'm not going to weigh in on it. But that's been another sort of thing that we've been wrestling with where I work.
I've worked for a few news organizations myself, a few three-letter networks, and I'm a big believer in media literacy. I'm a big believer in people being responsible for like their own consumption of media, and that it's
Absolutely.
And that there's a reason why the free press is called the free press, and it's because there really are no real mandates around. Other than tenets of responsible journalism, there's no real mandates around what they're supposed to, report on or talk about or how they're supposed to do that. And so it's up to us as consumers to actually figure out what's fact, what's opinion, what's real, what's not real. And just for me personally, it always kind of, when I hear the term fake news being used like ad nauseum, it really bugs me because people think that the press, that there's a big conspiracy going on, and that they talk about the press as a monolithic entity, as if it's just something you can point at, and at least in my experience, it's the furthest thing from the truth. And people just don't realize that press organizations are businesses. They need to stay open. They need to have viewers, supporters, listeners. They need to have sponsors, and that they all do the best they can, kind of, but they and some do better than others, but really it's about they have to keep the doors open, and so they still got to take in sponsorship. They still have to report on things that people want to hear, and if people don't like, and just in my opinion, like if you don't like that Fox talks too much about something, or MSNBC talks about too much of something else, then you should tell them and tell me you want to hear something else, and they'll write and produce other content.
Well, I listen. Don't get me started on the fake news thing, because frankly, you don't have enough show. One of my job roles is I'm a field producer, and I have seen in person the effects of that. I've been sneered at. I've been approached on the street. I've been not threatened, but just messed with over stuff like that. So, don't tell me that that kind of sobriquet coming from the highest levels doesn't mean something, because it absolutely does. But to your other point, which I think is more important, first of all, we are an essential business. And it reminds me of that Jon Stewart joke from a long time ago, where 1996, where he was protesting. He was taking up some cause, and he's marching along, and he's like, "Yeah, F the police, yeah." And then he's like, and then all hell broke loose. Cars are turning over. People are lighting stuff on fire. This one guy next to me's got a gun, and all of a sudden I'm like, "Where the F are the police?" Right? My point being, criticize us all you want, and you know what? We're not perfect. We're certainly not perfect. And is there institutional biases? Maybe, maybe not. Again, another thing I could talk about all day. But I guarantee you, America, I guarantee you, yeah, make fun of me, call me names, call me fake news, yell at me when you see me in the street, but you're going to miss me if I'm gone. All right. That is one thing I know for sure, because, essential business. Yeah. Hell yeah. And I'm not exaggerating with this. We are one of the pillars. I firmly believe that. And when I get down doing what I do, as do we all in our various businesses, the first thing that picks me up is when I remember that. If you don't have me, you're a little screwed. And then just real quick to your last point, I've been telling people this for years. I don't want you to just watch me, dude. Like, I hate talking to somebody who just watches Fox or just watches CNN or just watches MS, because A, they're lights out boring, right? Mm-hmm. And B, they're aggressively uninformed. Like, as somebody who works in it, do what I do. I've got 6 sources, conservatively. And my truth, personally, is the average of those 6. If you're not doing that, you're an idiot. Okay? Well, and you know what? If you hate me, if you lights out hate me and what I do and where I work, you're watching me too much. Come on, Seriously. Right. Anyway. Well, I get passionate about this stuff, as do you, Mike. I know.
I totally agree with you, and I usually tell people, like, I'm like, whatever I'm like, and include sources from outside of the U.S., include the BBC, include Al Jazeera, and it doesn't mean you have to believe that source, but like, just get some different viewpoints, and exactly what you're saying, find the average of that. The average of all of it is probably the closest to the truth that you're likely to find, right?
Yeah, the other thing that shocked me in now it's 21, 22 years of being in the news, which is amazing. Holy crap, that went a long way quick. But the thing that shocks me is this whole idea is, well, the media's biased. The media's biased. Hey, no blank, jerk face. Of course it is. You want to know why? Last I checked, it was made by, what's that? Oh yeah, humans. It's made by humans. Okay? Humans are biased. We just are. Mm-hmm. And the other thing, too, that I talk about a lot, at the dawn of TV, the news came from the coast, came from New York and came from LA. And that was no accident, because frankly, the people that made that early form of news, I don't even think they knew there were people in the middle at all, period. I don't think that they did. But yeah, the news is going to have an inherently liberal bias no matter what you do. You want to know why? And Mike, I know you know this because you've been in the job. It is inherently a liberal, artsy, fartsy thing to do, to say, oh my God, let's pick up a camera and go see what's going on. That's a liberal thing to do. It just is. Conservatives are like, hey, screw them. I don't care.
Conservatives are like, the press don't make enough money for me to like work in the press, right?
And that's the other point. I mean, this job is thankless, and to a certain extent, it is show business. To a certain extent, it's, hey kids, let's put on a show. So television news is inherently going to have a liberal slant. It just is. But guys, everything's going to have a slant one way or the other, because we all have slants. And if you think you don't, you're lying to yourself.
If it doesn't have a slant, nobody's watching it because it's called C-SPAN.
Well, but see, that's another thing you don't want to get me started on, because the deregulation of news adding a profit motive to it, I firmly believe, in my opinion, that ruined everything. Because, frankly, in my mind, the best news is boring. The best news is like watching grass grow, right?
Right.
You had and I've been a news writer forever, and I can tease the most boring story all day long. And why? Because I got to put butts in the seats. You know what I mean? And there are techniques for that, right? That I've learned through the years. Like one of my favorites is the number technique. This is if you ever get stuck as a news writer and you need to write a tease, the number technique is a great go-to. 5 cars, 3 hosts on a podcast, and 1 Tuesday that's about to go very wrong. Stay with us. Right? I mean, that could be a tease for the most boring story you ever heard in your entire life.
Right.
You'll never guess what happens next. Here's my point. I can do that all day long. There's an art and a science to it, but I personally don't believe that belongs in the news. It just doesn't.
Yep.
Anyway. You guys want to see the cars?
Yeah, we totally want to see the cars.
All right. Now, first of all, I got to warn you guys.
John has amazing cars.
Don't try this at home, because my senior producer's salary wouldn't buy a stitch on one of these seats.
And by the way, and just so people know, I knew that John had like a really cool car, and so I reached out to him like a couple of weeks ago. I was like, "Hey, I'd love to, because we try to get." And John, we have a lot of different types of guests on the show, but normally I'm trying to get people that can want to talk for a little bit, but also have like something interesting to show, or they're in an interesting place. So I was like, John has a really cool car. It'd be really sweet if he showed us his car. So I'm like, John, can you show us your cool car? He's like, which car? And I'm like, the convertible. He's like, which convertible? And then he proceeds to send me like 5 or 6 pictures, one after the other, of like cars that are all cars that I was like, if I had one of those, I would probably be satisfied for at least a little bit. But John, show us some of your toys.
Mike, if you were interested in going with somebody interesting, then I'm sorry you messed up with me. But no, again, just to warn you, I've got a whole other life, which I won't bore you with. But when you see these things, let's just put it this way politely: they were paid for with a whole mess of mommy and daddy issues. Okay.
Gotcha.
And one of those is long gone, and one of those is about to be. So anyway, without further ado, so here's only part of the collection. Most of it's in the shop right now. So here we have a 2019 AMG GTC. This was my first baby. This was my first love. This was the second major purchase I made once I actually had 2 dimes to rub together. This thing is lights out beautiful. And the nice thing about the GTC is that it has all of the bits of the GTR, which is like the track weapon. It's got the rear wheel steering. It's got the wider track, but it doesn't have the big ass wing. You know what I mean? Like, it's a little bit more, I don't know, subtle,
Right.
And the thing I love about this, let me pop the key so I can roll the top down. 1 second, wrong key.
And by the way, there's people in the comments that are like, "This is a nice whip." Just so you know, this is like the first of probably a couple that we'll see.
The what? Sorry.
Oh, I was just letting folks know that you have a couple of cars like this.
Oh yeah. Well, again, this is not the full collection, but the thing I love about this, I gotta tell you, I don't care what year, I don't care what era. There is something special about silver over red, dude. I mean, look at that.
Wow.
Yeah, that and by the way, if you thought I obsessively waxed and washed these bastards before the corona,
my God,
what do you think I do now? I'm like, where will this virus go away? Anyway, but yeah, no, I personally, I've always been a Mercedes guy. I'll never forget, my dad, his first company car when he made it was a 1986. 190E 2.3, not even the bigger engine, and he was so proud of that car. I'll never forget it. And I've been a Mercedes guy ever since, because you get what your dad does,
Yeah.
But for my money, that interior is lights out gorgeous. You can't do much better. So
that's beautiful.
Let's move on over here. Now, technically, this is the better, stronger car. But again, I told you, this is my first love. Now, over here is something very special. This is a 2020 AMG GTR Roadster. And again, the GTR was always the track weapon and remains the track weapon. And normally you'd think of the track weapon as a coupe, right? For rigidity and everything else, right? But, some people in Mercedes, they're nuts. And the way I tell it is I guess that it was like, hey, Heinrich, what if we took the track weapon, we took the top off, and we only sell 750? Well, that's what this is. So this is the full-on GTR. This is the 575 horsepower, approaching 600 pound-feet of torque. It's the track weapon. Like, you could take this to Lime Rock right now and credibly race it with the top down. I mean, this thing doesn't make any sense, which is why you want it. You know what I mean?
So how do you decide between driving the GTC and the GTR?
Oh, easy, Mike. I don't drive them. I look at them, which is an amazing amount of self-discipline on my part. Well, hold on. Let me show you this, by the way. Have you ever seen, well, first of all, remember I told you about the wing, right?
Yes.
Have you ever seen look at that weave. My God. Wow. Rembrandt could have done better. And then my favorite part is, check out, I call this the air blade. Check out this knife on the intake. And by the way, on an SL, screw an SL. A lot of those vents are fake, which angers me out of Mercedes. But on an AMG car, everything is real. So this vent is functional. But look at that. Look at the artistry in that. My God, that impresses me every time I see it.
Wow.
This thing alone costs more than a bunch of Hondas. It's insane. And speaking of things that are different on other cars, here, I call these pizza pies. These are carbon ceramic brakes. Well, actually, they're smaller in the rear, obviously. Let's look at the front. These are the carbon ceramics. Look at that piston. Look at that caliper, right? That thing is 15. The brakes on my car are 15s. Holy crap.
A lot of people's rims aren't 15 inches,
Exactly right. The only reason why I'm rolling on dubs, to borrow an expression, is because I need to make room for the freaking brakes. Look at that. And meanwhile, look at the tolerances. Look how close that caliper is to the edge of the wheel. It's amazing. But anyway, how do I decide how to drive them? Well, I'll tell you the truth. This is one of 750 in the world. I'm blessed to say that I have a lot of stuff to give to my kids when the stress finally comes and kills me. But if I didn't, this thing in and of itself is an inheritance. This is the kind of car that you buy and there's a speculator sitting next to you who pays you 2x for it. So
right.
I intentionally don't drive this, which is kind of sad because it is the best car I've ever driven. This car, I've had it for, when did I get it? I've had it, I don't know, 6 months now, 300 miles on it. And I don't know that I'm going to put much more on it because to me, it's funny. My wife often questions, why I buy cars because she's a wife. She's supposed to. But every single thing that I've ever purchased, I always got for the right reasons, which is this is going to be one of my sons one day, and that's important to me. So as amazing as this car is to drive, I don't drive it not for me, but for them. Now this one over here, the 2018, this only has 1,100 miles on it because I don't drive it in the rain. I don't drive it in the snow. I'm not going to make daily drivers out of any one of these cars because I respect them too much,
Yeah, that's interesting. So, John, by the way, what is your daily driver?
Oh, my daily drive it's actually in Vermont right now. I took it up to Vermont. My daily driver, which I adore, is the Tesla Model X, man. And it's funny, people ask me, well, let me tell you what's missing from here because they're all being renovated in the shop right now. And you can see the posters on the wall that indicate it. The first car I ever bought when I had money was for my wife, 59 190 SL Mercedes. with the Allison license plate, which is her name, and I'm glad that it wasn't taken already. So I gave her the Connecticut vanity plate of that. And then the other thing that I just got for Christmas was an XKE. You can't be a credible car collector and not have the XKE. You can't be a credible car collector and not own the car that Enzo Ferrari said was the most beautiful car he's ever seen. So those two are missing. But my daily driver is a Tesla Model X. And let me tell you, people ask me, because they know I've got cars, what's your favorite car? And I go, well, that's a complicated question, because I wouldn't call the Tesla a car. It's a different thing, dude. Like, it literally is a different thing. It is. Look, I'm a red-blooded American male. I love all day long I should do it for you, but I love all day. But I'm also smart. So I understand that indicates that we're killing the environment. We're still in bed with foreign oil. The Tesla. Here's the funny thing. It weighs 5,400 pounds. It's a station wagon. It out-accelerates the silver one and just barely loses to the blue one. I mean, can you believe that? I mean, it's nuts, you know?
So I can't believe that the Tesla actually loses to the blue one.
Well, it does, because again, these are 0 to 60 times. After that, bye-bye Tesla.
Right.
But my point is, anybody who doesn't think that this is the future of cars is an idiot. Now, before I do an exhaust note, let me show you the other fun thing that I've got in the garage right now. And this is just a fun thing. This is a rich boy toy, dude. That's all it is. It will never be anything else. And I love it for that reason. This is the Vanderhall Venice. You guys ever seen one of these things?
No, I haven't.
Yeah, little 3-wheeler. And I got it because the Polaris Slingshot, if you know that car, it looks too much like a Batmobile, right? Yeah. This is classy. This reminds me of like the old Morgans. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Little 3-wheeler. I mean, this thing is just freaking fun.
Oh, I love it from the front. That's badass.
You want to know something cool? Technically, this is illegal to put lights behind a grill, right? But they get around it. I don't know if you can see it, but there are individual LED elements that are perfectly lined up with the grill. So that's how they get away with it.
Huh.
This thing, first of all, it's completely made out of plastic. I mean, here, I'll show you. Right? It weighs 1,100 pounds. If you can believe it. So again, it weighs 1,100 pounds. It has a Chevy Cruze engine in it. It's got a 2-liter inline 4 turbo engine, which in a Chevy Cruze sucks all day long. But in something that weighs 1,100 pounds, this thing goes 0 to 60 in less than 4.
Wow.
And it's nuts. It's just insane. I love this thing. I mean, look at the side pipes. I mean, that's just, I mean, my God. I like things that are rare and different and cool. And by the way, if you get this stock, all the cool things that you see that I've added to, this is anodized black if you get stock. This is anodized black. This is all black vinyl, right? None of this red is here. Stock, it's what is it, $29.95? But that's not why you get these, dude. You know what I mean? So I optioned this thing up, and I almost sold it over the winter because I'm like, I'm out of garage space. I need to get rid of this thing. Then I took it for a drive yesterday, that nice day we had. And I was like, I'll never sell this thing ever. There's nothing better on a summer day than this, dude. This thing is just so, I mean, look, the old school toggle switches. I mean, there's a place in the world for this,
That's really cool. That is super cool.
So which, Mike, your choice. Which exhaust note you want to hear? You want to hear one of the GTs or you want to hear this thing? Up to you.
Oh, the GTC, please.
No,
I'm sorry. No. Yeah.
The GTR?
The GTR, yes.
I'm going to overrule you, and I'll tell you why.
Okay.
Only enthusiasts know this, but because of emissions regulations, this is the faster car, but they had to sneak a particulate filter into this, which kills a lot of the pops on overrun, which is what you get these cars for. I don't know if your audience will know what pops on overrun mean, but in cars that know you're going to aggressively drive them and you're going to, 1 minute you're braking, 1 minute you're accelerating, they don't cut the fuel flow ever. So what happens is you get gas literally burning up in the exhaust because it just shoots gas to the exhaust, and you get these amazing explosions. It's better out of the silver car than the blue one, if you can believe it. Anyway, right,
So do you ever get little flames coming out of the back of either of them?
well, I don't know because I'm driving him. One day if I have someone behind me, I'll ask him. But there's a reason why my driving record is a little dirty in the state of New York. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
You drive these aggressively and you have fun with them. Now, also, by the way, that little Vanderhall, last point on that one, it's a front engine, front drive car. That's another thing it has that the Slingshot doesn't have. The Slingshot is pushed from the rear by the single wheel, which is what I call shopping cart syndrome. It's inherently unstable. If I were the kind of guy that would flout speed regulations and then would admit it, if I were that kind of guy, I would say that I've gotten this thing theoretically up to 140 on I-95 and felt nothing.
And that would be I-95 in Mexico.
But of course, I would never ever do that. But this thing's a lot more stable than you'd actually think it is. All right, let's get a little exhaust going here. I feel like a little pick me up. By the way, taking the shoes off. That's how
Smart.
crazy I am about these vehicles.
Smart.
All right. I mean, dude. Is there any prettier cockpit view than that?
That's
all right,
amazing.
Here we go. Got to get the exhaust open. That's important too. Let me let it warm up for a second. Once it revs down, we'll have some fun.
Nice. So John, someday when you're ready, I've been keeping in my back pocket, I want to do a drive from New York City to Rio.
Say it again, sorry.
I want to do a road trip from New York City to Rio.
Oh, that'd be amazing, dude.
Wouldn't it?
You know what I want to do? I have the same kind of dream. I want to do Route 66. I want to buy, one of the things I'd love to get is a 50s tail fin something, and just take that down Route 66. That's one of my goals. All right, you guys ready?
Yes.
I mean, if that, apologies in advance to any ladies who are watching, but if that doesn't make you hard, I don't know what will.
Yeah, you definitely have some folks in the audience that are like oohing and eyeing.
So let me, I'll show you under the hood, and then I'm just gonna I'm gonna kill it so I can actually hear you. I'm not doing well with my earpiece. Yeah, man, but again, I love the Tesla, but it's the silent killer. You know what I mean? There's something to be said about that.
Well, about the visceral feeling of the engine and like the vibration and the sound of it.
Well, also let me. Yes, you're exactly right. But let me be a little bit more, simplistic about this. Both these GTs and like the XKE that I have that's not here right now, if you can imagine an XKE in your head. So here's the back end. See how short and tiny that is, right?
Mm-hmm.
And here's the front end, right? You don't have to be a psychologist to, what does that remind you of, bro? These cars are aggressively phallic, and that sound is aggressively masculine. And, I'm not saying that women can't be car enthusiasts. They are, and they should be, but there's a reason why dudes like me with maybe some growth issues love cars like this. It just is. This hood goes for miles. Look at that thing. Anyway, so
they have to fit that V8 in there, right?
Well, no, that's actually the funny thing. So on all the AMGs, for people who don't know, they're hand built by one dude, and the one dude always puts a little plaque with his name on it to say who he is. So thank you, Sebastian. Anyway, if you can believe it, most of this is not engine. For balance, this is what would be considered a front mid. The engine is entirely behind the front wheels. So you might think that the engine is under here. No, these are intercoolers and vents and stuff. This plastic cover is really over nothing. The actual engine starts right there. And under that heat shield are the turbochargers, which are kept inside the V. It's called a hot V. So it helps them stay heated so you don't get turbo lag. So if you can imagine a V cylinder engine in your head, the turbochargers sit in the valley of the V. But anyway, no, most of this is air, dude. Most of this is air, intercooler, ductwork. There's the radiator, one of them. And then all of this is neutral space. And then after that is ductwork and vents, and the actual engine starts there.
And
So yeah,
and that's for like balance for the car, right?
Correct. And the nice thing is about both these cars, they have the rear wheel steering, which when you're parking or maneuvering slowly, they turn with the front wheels to make maneuvering easier. When you're on the track or you're driving, they counter steer. So this thing, as long and as heavy as it is, feels like a much smaller car. They do a lot of trickery to make this big thing, because it really actually is a big, heavy thing, feel like it's not. So.
That's really cool.
No, man. But again, it's like, I'd like to think that I did this for the right reasons. I mean, these things to me are art. And, as much as I'll miss being here, part of me kind of, not to sound morbid, but part of me can't wait until my kids get these. You know what I mean?
Well, yeah, and I mean that's because you didn't buy them to drive them. You bought them to sort of collect and increase in value, and that's something that ends up going to your kids. So I totally get it. By the way, that the color on the GTR it looks like a matte blue, right?
It is. Yep, it is matte blue. And I'll tell you why I did this. I'm not even a huge fan of blue, but basically what it was is my dealer, a friend of mine, he wasn't even sure he could get the allocation for this thing. These things are so rare. Mine is number 306 of 750 in the world. I'm lucky to have it. But once he got the allocation, like, I had a very tight window to pick the color. And originally I was really thinking about murdering this out. I was just going to murder it out, matte black, basically the carbon package, carbon wheels, black interior, blah, 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 blah. But I was on the fence about it, because I was like, maybe the black, as cool as that is, doesn't really show like you don't see the notches, you don't see the sinews of it. You know what I mean?
Right.
And I literally had, he was up my ass. He's like, you gotta pick, because if he didn't give them some kind of a build, I was gonna lose the allocation. So what broke the tie was when Mercedes brought this car out at the Frankfurt Auto Show that year. This is what Mercedes chose to present it in. And all of a sudden it kind of clicked. I was like, oh, okay, that makes sense. This belongs in Monaco. This belongs in the south of France. You know what I mean? This belongs in Greece. This belongs with the beautiful white interior and the blue. And then I just said to myself, because I couldn't make a decision, I was like, well, if it's good enough for Mercedes, I guess it's going to be good enough for me. So I told my dealer, do all of that. And this one is actually better spec, because that one didn't have the carbon ceramic brakes, didn't have the night package. But as soon as I saw this blue over white, I was like, well, tie broken. So that's why I got this arrangement, because again, if Mercedes thought it was awesome, then who am I to tell them they're wrong?
Yeah, no, it's beautiful.
It's just different. And again, I'm not even a blue guy. I mean, frankly, I prefer. I mean, this sort of gets my gears turning a little bit. But then again, there's something to be said on a hot summer's day for just a freaking white interior. You know, like you don't see that. Oh, and by the way, white carpets, which are lights out stupid. These things suck. I've already ordered another set just to put away for when I ever trade this thing. You know?
Right. Well, because like the moment you step in there,
Oh,
I feel
you're
like
done.
I would just get it dirty looking at it.
You're done. I mean, you're absolutely. I mean, they're already a little bit stained, and I keep this car like gold. That's what you call a wear item. The other thing that wears like mad and is also stupid, but it's cool. You know, everyone loves Alcantara. They love Alcantara because the race cars have it. Blah blah blah. Yada yada yada. It's essentially a synthetic suede. Well, what do you think's the first thing gonna go? Right there, where your hands are sweaty all the time.
Right.
You know, so again, yeah, luxurious. I love it. But if you drove this car like it was intended to be driven, you'd be replacing the steering wheel, you know, once every 6 months. So,
Yeah, I feel like when somebody buys a used car that has an Alcantara steering wheel, like the first thing you need is like a steering wheel condom or something. You know.
no kidding. In fact, actually, you know, I'm not this stupid, but you know, for both cars, I bought replacement formats. Half of me wanted to buy a replacement steering wheel, but you know, even I'm not that dumb. You know. Remember Heinrich from the Mercedes factory I told you about before?
Yes.
He's literally rubbing his hands. Oh, he wants to buy a steering wheel. What will he charge him for that? You know, it's just, you know, completely stupid. So even I wouldn't do that. But these are wear items. But again, obviously, if practicality is your concern, you don't buy these. You know.
Did you happen to do Germany pickup on either of them?
No, you know, I wish I did. You know, the only thing that I did do that was really awesome, and it's a cool program that AMG does. When you buy an AMG, any AMG, I mean, you buy the AMG C63, or I'm sorry, E63 wagon, for instance. You buy, you know, one of the old SLC they just discontinued. Anytime you buy anything with an AMG badge, it entitles you to 1 free day of beginner driving training in the AMG driving school. And it's really awesome. And I did mine up in Lime Rock. And, you know, thankfully they don't make you drive your own car because you don't want to put that kind of wear and tear on it. But they literally bring out, and this is just beginner driving school. They bring out all the AMG models, and they have AMG models for different disciplines. They've got the C sedan for the slalom. They've got the GTR for the track, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And you basically spend a full-on day. It's like 10 hours. And AMG instructors teach you how to drive, you know, and it's amazing. So I did that up at Lime Rock. And now my wife was nice enough that for Christmas this year, she actually brought me into the intermediate level, which is not at Lime Rock. You got to go to like Laguna Seca or other places. But I don't know if Corona has canceled that, but can't wait to do that. I mean, it's just a smart thing for them to do because it keeps people invested in the brand. And like 80% of the people that take the beginner level go on to the intermediate and on, you know?
John, there's a couple of people in the comments who are like saying that they could like watch this all day, just talking about your car and looking at the cars. And I kind of, you know, me personally, I tend to agree. I a lot of the stuff I consume I don't consume much, but the stuff I consume on YouTube is primarily like, you know, nice car vlogs.
Me too,
and
man.
Stuff.
Me too. I love Doug DeMuro. I love Jay Leno's Garage. I mean, you know, talk about a guy from the hood that made good. I mean, he's another guy that does it for the right reasons. You know, I love those. And look, can I tell you, like, so you know this, Mike, the crowd doesn't, but my latest acquisition, which is also getting fixed up a little bit, which gives me so much joy, is I just bought for Vermont. I found a great deal, probably because of the virus, unfortunately, but I found a great deal on a 78 Toyota Land Cruiser FJ, mustard yellow, which, by the way, there's only one acceptable decade to paint a car in mustard yellow, and that's the 70s. I freaking
What about
love
the
that thing.
80s roof Porsche?
Yeah, exactly. But no, it's exactly what you'd expect it to be, dude. It's the removable, white roof, the mustard orange, and it's a 4-speed manual diesel. I mean, this thing, I call it the mountain goat, which I bought it for Vermont, so it's perfect for that. It's being fixed up right now because it's kind of unreliable. The alternator will give out every so often, and I can't really have that. But I will tell you, I did drive it the 200 and some odd change miles from Vermont back to Connecticut, and it did great. I was impressed by it. But anyway, what's my point? My point is that I can see why people would want to see this stuff all day long because A, I like to look at it all day long, and B, can I tell you that little car, that little yellow Land Cruiser, car guy or no car guy, that thing makes friends everywhere it goes. You know what I mean?
Oh,
So
it's so cute, and I saw pictures of it, but I've seen them in person, and they're totally cute. I almost I almost considered buying the modern day FJ Cruiser,
mhm.
just because I loved the way that it reminded me of the old one.
Oh yeah, no, I mean, listen, it's a storied brand, it's a great mark, it's a great name. But my point is, this is the other thing, and I'll show you this exhaust note too. This thing makes friends wherever it goes, right? And I don't want to get into specifics because it would be rude, but the FJ, cost me next to nothing. This thing, relative to the other things, cost me next to nothing. To a certain extent, it really isn't about the money. Like, there's something so cool about when you drive past somebody in this thing and they just give you a thumbs up, like, dude, that's awesome. So, my point being that I understand why people would enjoy this. And truthfully, if it gives people a little bit of joy, then have at it, man. I mean, because we're kind of running out of that lately. You know what I
Right, right.
mean? Let's hear this one. And
Yeah,
again,
let's hear it.
this is a funny thing. This is an inline 4-cylinder. It is a weak engine. It really is. But an 1,100-pound thing, it is just nutty. And you also have the wastegate, which is right under that cowling, so you get that nice wastegate, opening and closing.
Oh,
Um,
nice. So you're
oh
getting
no,
you're getting like the turbo flutter.
it's so much fun. It's so much fun. And again, yeah, this thing's practical. um, but you don't do that for you don't do these for that. All right, so there's your turbo pressure gauge, temp, obviously, all the basics. And I love these little toggles. Those are so much fun. It even
Yeah.
has a little attempt at a heater, which is down here, but that doesn't do much. All right, so now listen for the wastegate release sound of this. I mean, that's
Uh,
just fun.
that's insane. That's so insane.
Right? And you can see the little pressure go from negative to positive. Oh, I love it. I love it. Now
That must be.
it's also funny. It's a Tiptronic, basically, essentially. It's here's your shifter, totally unlabeled. I have to teach people who don't know this car how to drive it. But this is your PRND, basically. And then if you pull it all the way back, you get to manual. And then once you're in manual, you do it with this fun little thing over here. And this is up and this is down. And it's just,
Holy
if I
shit.
don't lose, if I don't lose signal, you guys want to take a 2-second drive?
Yes. Yes.
All right,
Please.
let's do it. If people are getting joy out of it, why not? All right, so what you do, throw on the brake, and then, this is now park, reverse, neutral, drive, and then throw it all the way back. It's in manual, right? And then off we go. And the thing does not have a good turning radius, so I'm going to have to back up so I don't hit my pavers. And I'm going to have to figure out how to steer and hold this phone at the same time. I'll steer and I'll shift. All right, so here we go.
Oh, that's insane. The wastegate noise. Oh, I wish his signal was a little better. I think we might have lost John with the signal. Oh, we got it back. Man, I want to drive around in that.
Fun, huh?
That looks fun as hell.
No, but this thing is just, I mean, you can see me doing it. You just throw it around, toss it around, you know? And
Oh, John? I think we might have lost him. Although he's just frozen. Usually it cuts out.
and you know what? There's a place in the world for it, you know? So.
Well, John, thank you so much for sharing your stuff with us. I personally want to come back and and see more stuff and talk more if you're willing to. But we really
Listen,
appreciate
man,
you spending
I can
so
do
much
this all
time
day
with
long.
us. And
I can do this all day long.
yeah.
And you know, Mike, you know, you've been a friend of mine for a long time. You know, I appreciate what you're doing. You know, I like your product. I like what you're doing. You know, as a professional, at least hopefully still after all this ends, I think it's kind of an unsung hero thing. So I super appreciate it. And I would just say the other important thing is, you know, like, I don't know, like my parents came up from nothing, and a lot of this stuff is accident of birth. And I'd like to think that I'm not a DICK because I recognize that, right? And one of the things that I'm doing lately and trying to do, which you guys are doing, which I love, which is great, is there are so many opportunities to give to people who, I mean, my God, I was fortunate before, you know, and I'm still fortunate now, you know, thank God, you know, knock on house. None of my family has it. You know, and if there's a way to do the virus, you know, I'm pretty well set up, but you know, so many other people are not, and there's just so many easy opportunities to just throw some money at a problem, dude. Like all the videos that I watch anyway, they all have give buttons at the end. All of my late shows, you know, I mean, it's a button, click it. My God. So, you know, I there's always that danger. Like, I like to show off this stuff, but there's always that danger that's like, you know, oh, you know, you're rich bastard, blah, blah. Yeah, you're right. But by the same token, you know, all of us, to a certain extent, all of us are lucky, and whatever giving deep is for you guys, I mean, just do it, because I'm doing it. You know, it's easy, and I have so many friends in the hospitality industry. I have so many waitresses and maitre d's and friends that I've made, and I can't even get them on the phone, man. I can't even just say I'm doing it. I'm lucky that I'm able to do it. But if you can give $5, give $5. If you can give $10, give $10. If you can give an inordinate amount to watch Mike over there get sprayed by disgusting freaking egg juice, then give that, because that's what I'm going to do. You know, I would just say that, yeah, I'm happy to show off the hardware, but it's not nearly as meaningful if you don't know that not everyone, you know, gets to have it, and to recognize that, you know, your fellow humans are you know, are getting hurt real bad. So anyway, that's all I wanted to say.
Well, John, you're a good dude. We appreciate you, and we had a lot of fun with you today. I know a lot of the folks watching did too, and so we definitely want to come back to you soon. John
Anytime.
Griffin,
Dude, wait until I show you the boats.
I can't wait, dude. No, I know we're just seeing like the sort of like the barely the tip of the iceberg here. So.
Well, you know, not quite, but I will tell you this, as I tell my wife all the time, because she doesn't think I'm funny. I say to her, hey, Screw you. I crack myself up, and that's all that matters.
Well, if you think you're funny, I'm sure a bunch of other people think you're funny too. So
Yeah.
I do. I think
the proof is not in that pudding yet. But anyway, guys, appreciate what you're doing. Mike, anytime you want, man. What the heck else am I doing? So reach out whenever. I appreciate this, and I'm happy to talk to you guys.
Yeah, great to talk with you too, John. And we'd love to have you back on anytime.
Anytime you want, dude. Stay safe.
Thanks, John.
Thanks, guys.
John Griffin, awesome guy, and man, I need me some of those cars in my life, maybe. We need to. So, folks, last minute chances for the car thing, the car contest, right? By the way, it was cool that we almost had like a little theme going because the contest and then him with his cars and stuff, and yeah, it was kind of cool. I liked it. I love those. I mean, fuck it. It makes me want to go there and do it at the video, be there in person. I want to drive around on that thing. All right. So you remember? I think we did. Have we figured out yet what's it looks like everyone's done guessing, right? So should we announce the contest winner?
Oh yeah.
They're gonna be psyched. You remember who it is?
Yep. And the contest winner is
I
didn't give a hint.
Oh, no hint. Oh. Well, it's too late.
Well, everybody already said it, but
I saw it actually come up a few times too, but we think we saw who'd said it first, right?
oh yeah, I know who said it first.
Mm-hmm.
So the winner is my man Adam.
Adam Vaughn wins
Adam
the
from
jam.
Greentown.
Doesn't need to be shipped because we can bring it to him.
Shout out to my man Adam hooking us up.
Woohoo!
He knew it was that Audi S7. He knew it. He said it first. I seen some other people say it, but he said it first.
Yeah, he came right out of the gate.
Yeah, that was his first. I knew somebody was gonna figure it out. Yeah, the Audi S7 is definitely my favorite car. It's a hatchback sedan, fast, slick. I had one. Loved it. Loved the interior.
Oh, Audis are badass inside.
They have the spaceship interior. It's like you in a spaceship, especially at night when you're driving at night. So yeah, Audi gang. Everybody know this is my favorite car. We gotta wait for Adam to hop in the comments though. If Adam don't hop in the comments.
Oh, then you're gonna give it away to somebody else?
He ain't getting it. Nah, I go to 100% to taxes. When you don't claim your prize, it goes 100% to taxes. If you don't send the address gets shipped to taxes.
He's out of here. He's not. He would have already replied.
Yeah, damn, Adam. That's how you do us, my brother. You better make sure you reclaim your prize. You better claim it. You better. There you go. Okay.
Did he make
Thank
it?
you. I got some jam. Beantown, Greentown. Shout out to Adam. Where are all those comments coming from? What do you mean where are all the comments coming from, Carla? I don't think I've ever seen you on here. Welcome, Carla. The comments are all coming from Facebook. Where you're commenting. Facebook, YouTube, Twitch. Mercedes feel like they're leading in the way when it comes to interior. So many screens. Hell no, Mercedes whack on the inside. Plastic covers. That shit is whack.
Kara, we were going to Instagram, and I kind of forgot about it during the thing.
You can only see your own comments. That's weird.
We're only allowed to go for like an hour, I think, before Instagram cuts us off.
I'm sorry, Carrie. You can only see your comments.
So it probably
I can see
stopped a while
everybody
ago.
comments, so I try to read them as we go.
Yeah.
Trish says, "Sing for us, Eric and Mike."
I meant to restart it before we went on to John.
I think we made it to the end of the show. And you know what that means. It's time for us to go. One of the main reasons why, because we don't want to talk to y'all no more. It's been 2 hours and it's time for us to